Once upon a time, there was a very intelligent and far-sighted king. He understood that what makes a country truly strong is not only its army or wealth, but the courage of its people, their hard work, and their will to overcome any problem. So one day, he came up with a brilliant idea to teach his sons a special lesson. In the morning, he called his soldiers and said, "Place a huge stone right in the middle of the road. I want to see how people deal with it." Following the king's order, the soldiers placed a big rock in the middle of the road and left. Then the king went up a tall tower with his sons, from where they could see everything clearly. First came some of the king's wealthy courtiers, riding in their chariots surrounded by servants. They were passing with great pomp. But when they reached the big rock, their chariot stopped. At once they shouted angrily, "What kind of king is this? He cannot even keep the road clean." They cursed and complained, but not one of them tried to move the rock. Finally annoyed, they turned back and took another way.
After a while, some farmers came along. Tired after working all day in the fields, they stopped when they saw the rock. Looking at one another, they said, "This must be a sign from God. Maybe he is testing us." They prayed for a moment, said a few words, and then continued on their way with a smile, leaving the rock just where it was. Next came a brave warrior, the king's most loyal knight. Honest and responsible, he saw the rock and thought, "This could be dangerous." Without delay, he rushed off on his horse to inform the king. Though he acted out of duty, he never once tried to move the rock himself. And so it went. One by one, people came. Some stopped and cursed. Some called upon God's name. Others simply left the responsibility to someone else. Slowly, the sun sank into the western sky and evening fell. Just then, a simple farmer came along. He was exhausted from working in the fields all day, his body drenched in sweat, and he was carrying a heavy load on his back. Yet seeing the rock, he stopped and took a deep breath. He thought, "If I don't move this, many people will suffer tomorrow. The king cannot always keep watch. We also have responsibilities."
With this thought, he set his heavy load down by the roadside. Then, using both his hands, he began pushing the rock. His body was soaked in sweat, his breath grew heavy, and his muscles trembled. Still, he did not give up. Finally, with all his strength, he managed to move the rock out of the road. But at that very moment, he saw something strange. Under the rock lay a leather pouch filled with shining gold coins. The farmer was astonished. He looked around, hardly able to believe his eyes. Just then, the king came down from the tower with his sons and stood before the farmer. Smiling, the king said, "These gold coins belong to you. You are the only one who understood your responsibility and tried to remove this obstacle. And this is exactly the lesson I wanted to teach my sons." The king turned to his sons and said, "Remember, the obstacles in life do not come to block our way. They are the very things that build our real path. When we overcome these obstacles, we become stronger, we move forward, and we earn true respect." The sons stood silently. It was clear in their eyes that this was a lesson no book could have ever taught them. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and comment. Your one comment will encourage me to create even better stories. Thank you everyone for all the love. See you again with a new story.